Welcome to Arise. This next verse is very challenging, but I think if we will combine it with what we've already heard in Matthew chapter 18 and with what he's trying to say here, that we understand where Jesus stands. So when you have somebody who has sinned against you, you've gone to them and you've tried to work it out one-on-one, but they refuse. They refuse to be reconciled or restore that relationship. Then you can go, the next thing would be to get one or two other people that are going. And keep in mind, when you follow that verse, they're not there to be judge and jury. They're there so that you can talk through it with that other person, so that you can try to get to that point of restoration and reconciliation within that friendship, within that relationship. But then he comes back with this, and he says in verse 17, Matthew 18, verse 17, "And if he refuses to hear them, tell it to the church. But if he refuses even to hear the church, let him be to you like a heathen and a tax collector." So at that time, a tax collector and a heathen would have been kicked out of the church. They would not have been permitted to come into the church. And so we're understanding that God has a way right here of what he wants to do. But we have to make sure that we're keeping things pure, so that what generally happens when there is a relationship that is awry within the church is it can cause other problems. It can cause greater division there. And this is such a touchy thing to do, is to know what is right and what do we need to be doing, because there should be that reconciliation that happens. But if they're refusing to do that, we let them go. But if we combine this with what was just said before these verses, it was talking about that, if one goes astray, if a lost goes astray, that Jesus is going to go after the lost, but the 99 are to stay in the fold. So, and in the fold, I believe we need to be praying for that restoration and that they would respond to Jesus, to the Holy Spirit convicting their heart, and that they would be restored to the church.